Hi everyone, it's Marisa Williams with Southern Technical College, and today we're going to do just a very quick fraction review. So on the board I just have the very basics, and I'm going to use 1/2 and 1/3 for all of ours just so you can see the difference of how it walks through. First, let's talk about the addition and subtraction. Those are actually a little scarier because you have to find that common denominator. So what we did here, let's just focus on this. 1/2 plus 1/3. I got to think of a number that goes into, that 2 and 3 both go into. In this case, I can multiply our bottoms together. 2 times 3 gives us 6. So 6 can be my bottom number. But now I got to ask myself, 2 times what equals 6? In this case, 2 times 3. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So if I multiplied by 3 here, I multiply by 3 here. That's how I get 3 over 6. Same thing with the 1/3. 3 times what gives us 6? That's 2. So I got to multiply the 1 times 2 on the top. That's how our new question turns into 3 over 6 plus 2 over 6, which gives us an answer of 5 over 6. On the same thought, we still have to find that common denominator with subtraction, right? So we're actually going to use the same numbers for addition as we did with subtraction. 1/2 still turns into 3 over 6. And 1/3 still turns into 2 over 6, but now we're subtracting. So whenever we're adding and subtracting, our common denominator stays the same in our answer. So you'll notice on both the addition and subtraction, 6 is still on the bottom. What's the difference? On the addition, we just add the top numbers. That's how we get 5 on the top in the addition. With subtraction, we subtract those two numbers. 3 minus 2 gives us 1. That's how we got 1/6 there, okay? So both addition and subtraction, we have to find those common denominators. Multiplication and division actually are a little easier because you don't have to find those common denominators. So let's see how that goes. With multiplication, you're just going to multiply across the top and multiply across the bottom. So 1 times 1 in this case is still 1. On the bottom, 2 times 3 still gives us 6, but if you notice, it's 1/6. Yes, it's the same answer as when we're subtracting, but that's just by chance with this example, okay? Not always going to be the same answer when you subtract and divide, okay? Just FYI on that. All right, now when we're, when we're multiplying. When we're dividing, we have to do one extra step. That's that keep, change, flip. What's that mean? We take this second number, always the second number, never the first, and we flip it over, or we inverse it, we use its reciprocal, and so that 3 goes on the top, and the 1 goes on the bottom, so we just flipped it over, right? So that 1/2 stays the same, just the second number changes. And now when we do that, it becomes a multiplication problem, and we do the same rule as we did up top. We're just gonna multiply the top numbers and multiply the bottom numbers. So on the top, 3 times 1 gives us 3. On the bottom, 2 times 1 gives us 2. But if we notice, that's what we call an improper fraction because the top number is bigger than the bottom number. So we got to change this into a mixed number, in which case we say 2 goes into 3 how many times? In this case, it can only go in 1 time, so we're putting a big 1 as our whole number. And then if we say 3 minus 2, we get a leftover of 1 on top, so our 1 goes on the top, but our bottom number stays the same. So in this case, our answer is going to be 1 1/2 when we're dividing. So again, division, we kind of do that keep, change, flip by flipping that second number, never the first. And anytime you have an answer where your top number is bigger than your bottom number, usually you're going to change it into a mixed number. And again, you're just going to say how many times that bottom number go into the top number, and then however many is left over goes on the top, your bottom number stays the same. So I hope that was just a quick little review for y'all. Hope you're feeling comfy and cozy with it. If not, you can always email me, mwilliams@southerntech.edu. Have a good one.